astonishing discovery. An ancient human, a hominid, has been found in Greece in the Petralina cave. Dated humanoid 700,000 years old. I've been to this cave. I was in the area. They have beautiful beaches there. And one summer afternoon, I took my mother-in-law and my children, because my husband was playing golf and in that area, and we visited the cave. And I was astonished. I didn't even know there were things there, people living there that way back. This is in northern Greece, just outside of Thessaloniki, the second largest city of Greece. And it's Petralina. During the 1960s, they uncovered Paleolithic tools and Paleolithic weapons that these humans used. They also uncovered animal skeletons and the Petralina skull, which is the remains of a hominid as old as 700,000 years old, even though scientific data continues to rage on this. So this is supposedly a piece of a skull from a human discovered in this ancient cave. It's a limestone mountain, and I don't even, for the life of me, don't know how they found it, but they did. The Petralina man, or Archanthropos of Petralina, he's dated 700,000 years old. His skull discovered in 1959, and scientists from then have been trying to trace the skull's origins. It's a process causing, of course, as we said, a lot of controversy with anthropologists. The skull indicates the oldest human Europeoid, that is presenting European traits. They were not African traits, they were European traits. They found the skull embedded in the cave's walls. As we said before, Petralina is in Halkidiki, just east of Salonika, in the three peninsulas of, it's in basically between the second, Cassandra, and Sidona. And the last one is Athos, which is the monastery, the male monasteries. So it's between Cassandra and Sidonia. Now, the cave is rich in stalactites, stalagmites. It looks like a cave inside. And it was accidentally located by a shepherd who was trying to find his sheep. And, of course, it went wandering in there. Now, Dr. Aris Poulianos, who is an expert anthropologist, he's a member of UNESCO's International Union of Anthropological and Ethnological Sciences. He's the founder of the Anthropological Association of Greece. He was assigned to research the skull found in this cave. Before that, Dr. Poulianos was already known for his thesis on, quote, the origin of the Greeks, unquote. His thesis, based on craniological anthropometric studies of modern Greek populations, proving that modern Greeks are related to ancient Greeks and that they are not descendants of Slavic nations. Now, after the study of this 700,000-year-old skull, his conclusion was that the Petralina man's skull was not connected to the species that came out of Africa, quote unquote. His arguments mainly based on the skull's almost perfect orthography, the shape of the dental arch, and the occipital bone construction. So he does not see that these people came out of Africa. In 1964, two German researchers, anthropologist Breitinger and paleontologist Sickenberg, who visited Greece, suggested that the skull was actually 50,000 years old, rejecting Dr. Poulianos' theory. And Breitinger claimed the skull belonged to the first African out of Africa. But a few years later, in 1971, a U.S. archaeological magazine confirmed Poulianos' statement that they were not out of Africa, that they were European, and it was 700,000 years old. So I'll leave links below for you for this. I think it was very interesting that there may have been various, I wouldn't call them species, different species, but types of tribes, let's put it that way, subspecies, that as we have, for example, Caucasian and African and Asian, there may have been a very distinct division that way. Now, of course, the very strange thing about this image is that we have this thing sticking out in the middle of the forehead, above the eyes. And I don't know what that is. Is that a part of the stalactite? To me, it looks like a piece of bone. And this is, of course, the position that it was found in, stuck in the side of the wall of the cave. All right, they made measurements and they said it was not out of Africa. You can understand how different the cranial shape of the humanoids were at that point in time, almost a million years back. This information is, of course, from Wikipedia, but the layer found and the testing of this layer 10 in 1992, the fossil incrustation is insufficient to date the spectrometric uranium series method, and the minimum age was concluded to be 160,000 years ago. And it says here, whatever the final classification may be, the cranium has been previously dated to about 200 to 400,000 years old, and it is thus possible that the Petrelina hominid is a representative of the lineage responsible for the Thessalian Lower Paleolithic sites. The Anthropological Association of Greece, the Poulianos, that started, announced the new findings in the cave, such as 4 isolated teeth, then 2 800-year-old pre-human skeletons. So this is not the only one. They had other skeletons that were 800,000 years old as well, and a great number of fossils of various species. And the fossils have been preserved at the Geology School of the Aristotle University of Thessalonica since 1960. And the skull of the Petrelina this humanoid is in the Archaeological Museum of Salonika. I have gone to that a couple of years ago, but I was more interested in Byzantine at that time and ancient Greek temples. And I was with other people, and unfortunately we had to go fast. One of the ladies was very tired, so we couldn't spend as much time as we wanted to in the museum, but I didn't notice this there. And they also have the armor of King Philip of Macedonia, Alexander the Great's father. And we noticed that one leg was shorter than the other. That's why one of the shin guards was smaller than the other. Things like that is what we noticed, but I don't remember seeing this, unfortunately. So I'll leave a link below for you. I think it's astonishing. It's not the only one that they found. They found 2 other 800-year-old pre-human skeletons as well. This is on Wikipedia. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.